We're just going to try and move on in here. Thanks, mate. I'm alright, buddy. Thank you very much, mate. It's alright to move on? Thanks, mate. Thank you very much. Cheers, mate. Good to see you, matey. So I'm just going to park up here, folks. There's a little baby there. My goodness, I tell you, it's such a youngster, and I want you to see this. So I do apologise. I'm just manoeuvring my vehicle, and there's a couple of other vehicles here. And I'm going to just reverse up a little bit. Andrew, how am I there, mate? Good? Okay, all good. Ephraim, thanks, buddy. Thank you, mate. The guys are so lovely. Does that look good for you, mate? You tell me when you want me to stop. Stop. Okay. How beautiful is that? Now look at that youngster, folks. When Andrew zooms in here, there is a very, very young baby standing underneath its mother's belly there. So tiny. It's not the one that's just walked off. It's even smaller. It's just about to stick its head out now. I think if you go, yeah, there we go. That little guy there. Oh my goodness, how small is that? So fantastic. That's beautiful to see, isn't it? Real beautiful. They lavish their youngsters in maternal care. It's just beautiful to see. And they're having a beautiful mud wallow there. So that is a breeding herd, folks, and you'll probably hear that term used a lot. Breeding herd refers to the matriarch and related females, cousins, and their offspring. And the bulls only actually come into the herd, and I know probably a lot of people already know this, but just for those of you that are learning about elephants, the bulls trail the herd if the females are in estrus, basically meaning whether they're in season or not. And normally the boys are off in either bachelor herds or solitary situations, and they only come into those herds to mate. So you normally see these strong, very, very tightly knit family groups or breeding herds, but that baby is tiny. Really, that's this year definitely, and still fitting underneath. Look at the size of that. Wow. Beautiful. And still getting to know what the trunk is used for as well, which is a great thing. Always watching elephants figure out what that massive long appendage is hanging out from their head, and then they get to use that. They get to learn how to use that over a period of time, and to know that it's their most impressive tool in their anatomy. They just use that for everything, for feeding, for communicating, for drinking, for drawing water up and blowing into their mouth, dust bathing, and you can see the matriarch has just given the signal. She's the one at the front with that youngster. She's given the signal to move off, and everyone is moving off, and that's her offspring. Look at that little guy. Just over 100 kilos, or about 220 pounds when they're born. Maybe a bit heavier than that, but all depends on many things. But one thing I've never ever seen, and I don't think I've ever actually met anyone that's seen it in the wild, but I know loads of people have, but I've never met anyone that's seen an elephant give birth in the wild. Wow, that's beautiful. So that matriarch dictates everything. She dictates the moves silently, silently to us, communicating at a frequency that we can't even hear. And as soon as she makes the move, everyone moves. How wonderful is that? We might just move up and see if we can. We'll wait until they leave shot just here, and we'll just see then if we can still pick them up, because they look they're walking parallel to the road. But I'm just looking at my watch now, and we've got about 10 minutes to go. The sun is beating down here. Just to give you an update on, they're probably going to cross the road actually. They might even cross the road. We'll see. I'll keep an eye on them quickly, and I might have to keep turning away from camera, so bear with me. But just to give you a picture, as soon as that sun heats up and the wind dies down, you'll find that a lot of these animals will be looking for shaded areas under these beautiful big jackalberries or marula trees or whatever it may be, or the herds sometimes fall into these little valleys where they can get shade as well. When I say fall, walk into. Yeah, I think they are going to cross the road. So what we're going to do is be hugely respectful to this mother. She's going to be like, her toleration is probably, her tolerance, sorry, is going to be, you know, a little bit, maybe a little bit shorter than other animals, because her youngster is so young. But at the same time, she's probably a very experienced female, and we can just get a really beautiful view. They may not cross the road, I'm not sure. They're feeding as they go. So I'm just going to pull up in this little bit of shade for us humans. And I don't know if you can see anything in there. Andrew, can you see any shots? You've got a couple of animals moving through. Okay, well look, I think we just play our cards right here, and I'm just having a think about what to do, and looking down at my watch and wanting to place us in a lovely position here. I think if we just really gingerly walk up here, we don't want to surprise her, so she can hear me, and that's the most important thing. See the vegetation moving, and it's really important that you do not ever compromise the animal's behavior and change her direction or anything like that. And out of respect and just morals and ethics, I would never do it. But at the same time, you don't want to come around from behind a bush and startle her. That's why I'm leaving the engine running. She's probably going to be fine by the looks of things, but I'm just going to creep up a little bit more. It's alright, my girl. Easy, babe. Easy. So what I'm going to do, folks, is I might just cross over to Pete, see what he's up to, and so he can also say farewell, and just stick with these guys, and if they cross the road, we're in a perfect position now, and I'll come back to you. Okay, so we'll just do that. We'll be back with you just now.
Well guys, welcome back this side again, probably for the last time this morning. We just almost back at Buffelshoek Dam. We decided to come past here again. It is a waterhole, it's getting hot. So we're going to have a quick look here. Maybe there's another surprise. We were here about 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. And then we're going to go back to Hayden and the elephants for the last part, unless there's, of course, you know, a herd of leopards busy drinking or something. But it's been a lovely morning. I love the mornings, just to start with. It was beautiful early morning with the sunrise. We had Kunuma as well, so we've seen in the last 12 hours, we've seen both the brothers, Q and K, or Q and Kunuma, and lots to look forward to this afternoon. Lots of Ellies around, that's great to know. Buffalo, obviously, we've seen quite a few of them, so do make sure you join us for the afternoon drive, and as always, such a pleasure to have you with us. Give it 2 seconds before we go back to H. Just arriving at the waterhole, and Impala in the distance. Guys, this waterhole, just on a quick footnote, there's the Impala. You're not really going to see them, they're running around in the bushes there, but this waterhole you will get to know very well this winter. There hasn't been that much rain, so towards the middle and end of winter, as it gets drier, it will get very, very productive around this waterhole. You will see big herds of buffalo, big herds of ellies. You will see a lot of leopard here, a lot of lion. So, you know, sort of mark the spot for future reference. Otherwise, just thank you very much. It was an awesome drive. I really enjoyed it. Saw one of my favorite leopards. My name is Pieter Pretorius. It's a pleasure having you as our guest today. Brian behind the camera. Thanks all the guys in control. Have a lovely morning and enjoy your last few minutes with Hayden. See you this afternoon. Bye-bye.
Let's move on. Folks, they just a couple have crossed here. I'm just moving up in respectful distance, of course, so you can see them a little bit better, keeping an eye to my right because the rest of the herd is just here and I don't want to ever come in between, but I do want you to see this little one cross the road with the mum. We had a question ever so quickly. We had a question from Sherry in Ohio. Hi Sherry, great to have you with us and really great. Thanks for all your fantastic tweets and communication in the past as well. Sherry wants to know what the height of one of these females, or the tallest female, would be. It's probably about 8.5 feet, about 2.5 meters at the shoulder. That's roughly a guesstimate, and the male's obviously much taller. But this little youngster, I really want him to cross the way in front of us if we do. Stay here. There's a couple of them about to move across now. Just looking at my watch to making sure. This is beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. You might see me occasionally just turn over my shoulder and look around, folks. I promise you it's just out of respect for the animals that I'm not compromising their pathway, and just really sitting with these animals just till we close now. Absolutely beautiful. What a fantastic day. All I can say to you is thank you very much. It's been an absolutely brilliant morning for me. Elephants are one of my favorite creatures on the planet, and boy do we spend some time with them. Pete with all these fantastic little encounters with Kanuma, and a really beautiful time. We're going to be back with you this afternoon. We've just got a vehicle that's pulled up behind us, so folks, I do apologise. We're going to be back with you this afternoon on the Sunset Drive. Please join us. It'd be great. If you've got any questions, tweet us at #SafariLive, or you can email us at questions@wildearth.tv. It's been brilliant. Really enjoyed your questions this morning. It's just a great morning, and wow, I tell you, look at this little guy. Beautiful stuff. The rest of the herd is just over here, and they're all going to pass across. So whilst they get into shadier areas this morning, we're going to get into a shadier area too. And again, thank you very much for being with us this morning, folks. It's been a really great morning to remember. And yeah, I'm going to sign off and let you see these beautiful pictures for a while of these elephants. Thank you so much, guys.